Hi everyone, welcome to the final lesson of the month. This month we've covered the country jazz tune Remington Ride. In this final lesson, we'll learn a solo inspired by Danny Gatton. I took most of this solo from the first chorus off his live take of Remington Ride. Now there are quite a few parts that are simplified because, what can I say, I'm not Danny Gatton, but I'd like to share with some of these great ideas with you that we can all incorporate into our playing. If you would like to, please download the PDF of the solo so you can follow along phrase by phrase, and we'll begin to break it down together. We'll be coming out of the D chord E shape between the 10th and 12th frets with this first phrase. To break this down, all we're doing is sliding from our flat third, the F, into our F sharp, and then we're playing A, B, that's the 5, 6, and then D at the top, and then D at the bottom. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We're going to answer it with this phrase. All right, now this is a little more complicated, but still very bluesy. We're playing out of our D chord G shape here. We're playing a quick A at the octave, and then a quick A at the top here. And our phrase is like so. So we play A, F sharp. And then I'm going to play a hammer on from G to A and a pull off. And then back to F sharp. So we have, I'm going to play from the flat third, the F, pull it down to the E, to D. So slowly. Now the second part of this phrase, we have, so I'm playing B, chromatically connecting to A. I'm going to approach the F sharp with the flat third. Now I'm going to play A, F, D, kind of like a D minor arpeggio, and then E, D to finish it off. So I have this a great move highlighting the F sharp, to F natural, to E to D. We have this movement to resolve. So the first two phrases back to back. Now I'm going to have pickups into this next phrase. Now we have the D chord again moving into the A, so I have pickups going F sharp, A, B, and then I'm going to play this pattern here going D, C, B, A. So I have, and then E, C, B, A, D, C, B, A. I'm going to chromatically connect F sharp down to E, and then play an open A, because we're now moving to the A chord, to buy me some time to shift down to my A chord G shape position here. So I have, from there I'm going to play the flat third to major third, and then I'm going to play E, F sharp, G, that's the 5, 6, 7, A, B, and then G. So really I'm just playing pentatonics with some added color notes. I've got this flat third, the flat 7, back to the flat 7, and now I'm going to shift positions. This is something Danny Gatton would do, where you would take just a simple pentatonic idea and then combine that with an arpeggio idea, but filling in the gaps. And here's what I mean by that. We're shifting up, and we play now the arpeggio, A, C sharp, E. We have our A chord here. Fill in the gaps. F sharp to G. That's the 6 of the flat 7. And then we're adding in our B there. So it's like we're playing an A or A7, 9 chord here. So we have this. And we can see that all of these notes are played an octave lower and then an octave higher. right? We have E, F sharp, G, A, B, highlighting that flat 7-9 sound. Then the arpeggio with the same notes, and then the 9. And then we're going to chromatically fall from A down into G for our G lick. So one more time, we have okay, now we're at our G. So I have this phrase. Let's break this down. So we're playing G down to F, and then I'm going to play a little embellishment, E, F, E. That's something whenever you have a half step, he'll do that quite a bit, just to fill in the space. And then I'm going to play D, C, B flat approach to the B. And then I'm going to play G down to F, D, all the way down to B, and then my G. So I'm really highlighting the chord tones here. I have the 1, flat 7, pass through, 5, 3rd. 1 down to flat 7, 5 down to 3rd, 1. This is how you fill in these shapes so that you can fill in the sound at a faster tempo. Sounds like you're doing a lot, but really you're just kind of coloring in between the lines. So we have. Now I'm going to move this shape up to the B flat and play this lick. So I'm playing just a simple B flat 7 arpeggio, B flat, D, F, A flat, and then G, A flat, G again. Whenever you have those half steps, use it as a way to fill in the space. So a little embellishment. And then I'm going to connect F down to D, the 5 to 3, and then right back up. So I have more embellishment. Okay. Now I'm going to move into, in the progression, we have an A chord, but in the solo, if you listen closely, Danny Gatton just goes straight for the D and starts playing D pentatonics, which is okay because the A is part of the D key, so you can gloss over it with pentatonics, and especially in a tune this fast, sometimes it's nice not to play the changes. It's nice to just kind of gloss. So we have this glossing lick. I'm just taking pentatonics up here. F sharp A, D, and then carbon copy that up an octave. Now I'm going to play A, B, D, and then reach with my pinky up to the F sharp, and then E, D. Now a quick triplet. That's flat 7 down to the 5, and then a quick flat 3rd to major 3rd twice. So I have this. Now we'll be moving into the repeat of the A section. So our first phrase will be this. So just a simple kind of D6 lick. We're moving up A, B, D, and then kind of quoting the lick we did earlier in the solo. We have A, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, D, B, A. And we're just repeating that. Twice. 3rd time. Now we're going to move down into our D chord here and play B, F, E, D. So that phrase, just one connected into that, we have. Our next phrase will sound like this. So we're moving from the D chord into our A. We have a quick pickup. So I'm starting on my A here. A, B, D. Then to the E, F, slide into F sharp. This is a great pickup to have in your bag of intro licks. Many players will use this pickup. So we have, and then I have this double stop I'm landing in, and I'm going to just slide into it. Take it down to the flat 7th, and then slide into my A double stop. And this time, I'm going to pull off the first string to the open first string. So I have, and then I'm going to take it down, and then to the flat 7, and then let it ring. So I have, as the phrase. So one more time, we have, our next phrase will be over the G and B flat. We'll go, so we're quoting some Chet Atkins, Merle Travis kind of banjo rolls here. I'm picking up with the open E and then playing 3-2-0, 3-2-0 on the first 2 strings twice. And then I'm going to take it down to the 4th string. That's all over G. And then for the B flat, I'm going to pick it up on the 3rd string, all the way down to the 6th string. And then I'm going to land on a B flat chord with a few added tones. We'll play B flat, F, open G, that's the 6 or 13. We have the D, and then an E. That's a sharp 4. An E flat would be the natural 4. That's the sharp 4, and this is going to sound over the B flat chord. So we have, from there, I'm going to move into the A chord, resolving into the D chord, and we'll head into our B section. So this A chord lick will sound like this. So I'm taking this A chord shape and visualizing the E, A, C sharp, G. So I'm going to slide with my pinky into it, F sharp, and I'm going to slide the G sharp into the A, B, I'm going to slide the C into the C sharp, E, F sharp into the G, A. So I have, and then I'm going to come back down the scale to resolve to D, and then go back up, and then resolve here. I'm going to play F, E, D, that flat 3rd pull down. So this phrase from A7 to D, I have, for the B section, I'm moving into this Danny Gatton styled Les Paul lick. The double stops will start on our 10th and 12th frets out of this G chord A shape. What I recommend is bar across the 10th fret here, and then we're going to move our 3rd finger from the 2nd and 3rd string to the 3rd and 4th string. So the whole phrase will sound like this. So I'm just picking 12 and 12, and then playing 10 and 10, and repeating that, and then doing the same thing on the 3rd and 4th for the next. So we have, now I'm going to do the same thing for the D. And as I go up to the E, I'm going to chromatically add E. So I just put it in the E flat there. going to play just kind of a quote of the melody. So I'm playing out of my A chord here. I have A and C sharp, chromatically down, to G and B, back up to A and C sharp, and then I'm gonna play a double stop at F sharp and A, and then E and G, and then come up here to my 17th frets and play the first two strings and slide down. So that phrase one more time. For the B section we have All right, now we're coming back to the A section for our last part of the solo. We're going to start off with tone swell. We're at the D chord shape, the G. Now we're coming back to the last A section. This is to wrap up the solo. We'll be working out of the D chord G shape with a tone swell and some double stop ideas. So we have this. As our first phrase of using D double stops. So I'm bending this B and E on the 4th and 3rd string here, just up kind of a quarter step, and then I'm using my tone knob and swelling into it. So I have, I'm going to release now with the triplet 7-9-7, and then come back to the 7, and then slide into this D double stop here, and then slide down from the 3rd and 4th strings of that D double stop. From there, I'm going to play 7, 9, and 7 using those double stops again, and then come up to my D triad here and play a slide in from a half step below. We have this F sharp and A, and I'm going to play as the phrase that will lead me into the A chord now. For the A chord, I'm going to play, which will lead me into my G and B flat. So I'm just taking these A 6th chords here. So I have the 3, and then I'm going to add in my 4th string. So I have, as the first part, just taking the double stops on the 2nd and 1st string, and then 2nd and 3rd string. And then I'm going to move it down a half step, anticipating the G. I'm going to play the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and then into my G6, which is functioning as an A7, like the flat 7, or it's functioning as the G. And now we're going into the G chord to B flat chord. So that phrase one more time, we have. Now for my G, I have this. I'm going to go. So we have this move of a G13. So I'm going to play G, like so, just the first 3 strings. And then I'm going to move this down a half step to an F sharp for G flat, and then bring it back up on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So I have. From there, I'm going to bring my ring finger to the D note. So this is now just a normal G7, and I'm going to bring it down a half step, and then resolve it up. So I'm using the 3rd, 4th, and 5th string. So I have one more time. And then I'm going to grab the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. From there, I'm going to turn this into a diminished chord. So I'm approaching this diminished chord here. It's going to function as a B flat 7 with the flat 9. So I'm going to have from here up into the F in the melody note. So if we look at this, it's D, A flat, B, or C flat, and then F, It's a flat 9 chord or a diminished chord, so we're just approaching it by a half step, and that's functioning over the B flat. Okay, we have tension, and then I'm going to approach the flat 7th, the A flat, the same way from a half step below. Again, we have F, B, and then we have D and A flat. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So I have the B here, but instead of doing the approach, I'm going to play 4 strings and then just play the low 3, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So I have this and resolve it into my D. So to hear that, all that sounds very slowly. Over the G, and we resolve into the D here. Here's how this final phrase sounds. It's a 5 going back to a 1, but he resolves early to the D chord and then takes it through a 1, 6, 2, 5. So coming from the G chord, we have okay, so to break this down, we have a D coming down to an F9 grip, to an E9 grip, and this F9, it's really going to be a B7 with the flat 13. You can hear how that sounds there, or just kind of a chromatic approach to the E, and dropping it down to an A13, resolve on the D here. So 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, and then a quick 2 minor, and we have the 9 there, and then the A13, the 5, 7, and then resolving into a D6. So from the G to B flat, A back to D. To finish it off, we have and that will be our Remington ride solo. I hope you found some good ideas from Danny Gatton in this and can apply it to your playing. I'll see you for our next tune in April. We'll be covering the Jimmie Bryant country jazz tune, The Night Rider. Thank you.